Good afternoon, my name is Jenk and I'm here to speak to you today about the Sustainable Development Goal number 16, which focuses on peace, justice and institutions. Sadly, today we are experiencing the antithesis of SDG 16 in the form of conflict, insecurity and weak institutions. Limited access to justice remains a great threat to achieving every single one of the UN SDGs. By the end of 2020, over 80 million people were forced from their homes, fleeing pressurization, conflict, and violations of their human rights. 26 million of those displaced are refugees, over half are under the age of 18, and children of the world are being impacted by violence at unprecedented rates. In fact, each year 50% of the world's children experience violence, and every 7 minutes, horrendous brutality takes a child's life. The most frightening of all is that the school that parents trust with their child's safety and education see 246 million of their students suffer from school-related violence every year. The children of today not only suffer from horrific and persistent violence, but find themselves in incredibly vulnerable positions due to a severe lack of legal protection and access to both justice and social services. Due to only 1 in 4 births worldwide failing to be officially recorded without proof of identity, children are often excluded from education, healthcare, and other vital services, and are more vulnerable to exploitation and abuse. On top of this, the brave individuals devoted to the exposure of violence and corruption only suffer at the hands of it themselves. Over 500 journalists were killed between 2012 and 2016, averaging 2 deaths per week. At the end of 2019, the UN tracked more than 360 killings and 30 forced disappearances of human rights defenders, journalists, and trade unionists in 47 different nations. Also, we cannot forget that behind the humanitarian face of the justice system lies a deep-seated corruption behind amongst not only the judiciary, but also the police. Each year, developing nations are robbed of more than $1.3 trillion from tax evasion, bribery, corruption, and theft. SDG 16 is not only promising to initiate a devastating crackdown on bribery, but also aims for development of transparent, effective, and accountable institutions at every level. SDG 16's 2030 agenda aims for the significant reduction of violence worldwide, whilst providing justice globally through promoting the rule of the law at all levels. Illicit arms flows are being heavily targeted, along with all forms of organized crime and abuse against children. The presence of developing nations in global governance is to be solidified, and national institutions will be bolstered in the hopes of combating violence and terrorism simultaneously. Please get involved and support the incredible work behind SDG 16 so we can achieve peace, justice, and strong institutions. Thank you very much for listening.